What is up, cool cats of the interwebs? It is your girl Haley back at it again with another episode of your podcaster's favorite podcast, the Pre-Review Crew, for September and October of 2024. Before we hop into the games, let me introduce who I have on our panel for today. As always, we have Brennan.
Hello.
And we have Mike.
So,
So let's start off with the games that we talked about for September. The first game that we spoke about was the casting of Frank Stone. I am disappointed in this one, and I'll explain why in a second. It's a horror single-player psychological game developed by Supermassive Games and published by Behavior Interactive. It came out on PC, PS5, Xbox Series S and X on September 3rd. It currently has a top critic average of 68 and only 39% of critics recommending. Seeing as this came from the people who did all those horror games like Man of Medan and oh shit, I forget all the other ones. But like all those
Zelda.
Yeah. I thought this would honestly do a lot better. And I'm wondering because like I feel like this was perfect. You tie those two like uh, hold on. Dead by Daylight is great. The horror setting, great, amazing. And then you have the makers of Until Dawn, amazing. They make some bomb ass horror games. So you would think that these two together would be awesome. But like I watched gameplay of it and the story was just lackluster. Like I get what they were trying to do with like an original character, but I didn't like it.
Yeah, I'm reading the reviews, and it's like actually a lot of really mixed reviews. Yeah, this thing, when you take the average, got a 68, critic average, but there are people, I'm seeing a 6 here, or 8 here. I see a 3 out of 5, and then after that is an 8 out of 10. This person gave it a 9. This person gave it 2 stars. So it's like, while people are disappointed, it seems some people actually like this game.
Like I don't think it's a bad game. I just think that the the character and story that they decided to use wasn't the best option. I think that they have better original characters um, with cooler backstories that they could have utilized, and I don't. This was not it. So like I think I wish they just would have used a different character because they have so many. And the lore is so
Yeah.
neat and it's so cool. And what they did with the whole film thing, because spoilers, it like jumps multiple timelines. So like there are characters from the future, there are characters from the past, there are characters from this timeline, there are characters from that timeline. Hence like the whole film thing. And I don't mind that, but like I feel like that was more important than the actual like killer, and that was disappointing because I think the killer was just lackluster.
Uh,
And I mean, it's called the casting of Frank Stone. You expected him to play like a major role, and it wasn't there. Brendan has no comments because he doesn't like horror games.
Yep. I mean, it just kind of, I don't know, sucks to see, I guess.
I hope that Supermassive and Behavior get together again. Um, but on a more interesting and cooler character. But seeing as how this didn't do as great, I highly doubt that they'll do something again. But if they do, maybe instead of a game, they should just do like a whole like cinematic movie type thing. Because Supermassive is awesome. Like they are really good at getting those facial features. That's just my
I
opinion.
have a feeling. I have a feeling this will become a cult classic. So who knows? Maybe we will see another game after this one.
It's gonna be like an Alan Wake.
Kind of, yeah. Only Alan Wake was actually good.
Well, at least Alan Wake has that going for it. The next game that is on the list for September to talk about is Warhammer 40k Space Marines 2. It's a third person shooter, hack and slash adventure game developed by Saber Interactive and published by Focus Entertainment. It came out on PC, PS5, Xbox Series S and X on September 9th, and it has an 81 top critic average with 86% of critics recommending.
It was like some of the most bro shit I ever played. Um, I just loved how heavy it felt. Because I mean, these guys are 7 foot tall dudes wearing 300-pound armor with chain swords and big ass guns. Um, and it was fun. My brothers got it. I had a friend who got it, so we were all able to play together. And I really like this game. I usually don't like shooters, but this game is actually really fun.
Oh, shit. Nice. Is it like is it did it give you like Gears of War? That kind of feeling?
I was just about to say, if you like Gears of War, this is like right up your alley.
Nice, yeah. I had a couple of friends have been a couple of friends of mine had started playing it, and then another group of friends had asked if we had any interest in it. And I don't know, it's like I really want to play it and try because it seems really cool, and apparently it's a good Warhammer game too, as much as it is mechanically fun. And that seems really cool, but I'm still not really into Warhammer. I don't know. I feel like I'd have
Hmm.
to try it to enjoy it, but I don't know. I'm glad that it's doing well. Like it just seems like a lot of fun. And I don't know. It just seems like dumb fun. It's really all it is.
That's really all it is. Don't play this game looking for some kind of, deep story that's going to make you think about life and your place within the world. Um, but if you're looking just to shoot some shit and, chainsaw swords and things, then this is, your game.
I mean, since this has the Warhammer title attached to it, and it's a second game because it has two. What would you say to the people who are interested in this game but have absolutely no clue about Warhammer? Do they need to play the first one? Is there some sort of book they should read or like video they should check out, or can they just hop right into this and be perfectly fine?
Oh, I have very little Warhammer knowledge myself. And I was able to just jump in. There'll be some like things about the world and stuff that you're not gonna really know. That's gonna be kind of confusing. But I mean, I jumped in without too much knowledge, and I was able to play it pretty good.
I think that's definitely something that when you're coming out with a game that is a follow up to something else, um, it's definitely something that you have to take into consideration is when are you releasing this, and is that audience going to actually know or need remembrance of what happened in the first one? And I think a good game, not to bring it up again or stay on this topic for too long, but I think a good game that did it well was Alan Wake. They and I said this way back when they remastered the first one, and I was like, "Oh, they're getting ready, like something's up. They're remastering the first one. Why are they bringing the first one back? Oh, guess what? They released a second one." And I think that Alan Wake 2 did a great job at filling you in just enough
Hmm.
and giving you just enough information that you wouldn't be completely lost in what's going on. Um, I can't really think of any other games that did that. Anybody got any picks?
No, like I said, there's some role things that really didn't make sense, but I mean, at the end of the day, that's not really what matters with this game. What matters with this game is the action.
Yeah. And if you want like deeper information, you can go searching for it later on.
Especially if you want something to get really deep into, because Warhammer is a very deep universe. That's kind of like why I don't know too much about it because there's just so much that I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. But just they did a good job of just making a game fun without having to really know too much about the story.
And I think that's awesome because you don't get a lot of games that can do that and do that well. Whew.
I want to play this. This looks
This
fun.
Warhammer than the next game.
Well, both of them.
Brennan is about to lose his shit over this next game. It is The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. It's an action adventure game and published by Nintendo. Came out, of course, on the Switch on September 26th with a 86 top critic average and 92% of critics recommending.
I I knew it was gonna get these reviews. It's Nintendo. Like at the end of the day, that's all I can say. It's Nintendo.
Yeah, I'm really glad that this scored well, and like everyone seems to be enjoying a lot. I've been watching videos of like weird combinations that people have been able to do. I don't know that like because you can apparently spawn objects within a certain list if you've defeated monsters or like absorbed them or something. You could just I don't know the way that you can like mess with the world was kind of fun. It seems like a really cool take on Zelda. I'm really excited. I want to try this really bad, but I haven't gotten around to it.
I will I play this? Probably not. Is it cute though? Yes, it's giving me like Animal Crossing vibes without
I
being Animal Crossing.
yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. If I get bored or if it's on sale, maybe I'll pick it up. Um, but the only like Legend of Zelda games I've ever been interested in are it's Twilight Princess. So,
And yeah, this is a far cry from Twilight Princess.
yeah, it's cutesy, it's fun, it's bright, it's vibrant. It's not dark and gritty and mature in a sense. Um, but
You're not a
it looks
furry.
cute. What? I'm gonna pretend like you never said that.
Oh, I said it.
The
The whole internet's
audacity.
gonna know I said it. But
Ugh.
yeah, this is a nice, cute little game. I think if you want to just kick back and play something light, that this is kind of that kind of game for you.
Welp. Honestly, September, all in all, wasn't a bad month. Like, I will say though, I honestly didn't really hear anything about either three of these games.
I heard a bit about Zelda and Warhammer.
The only one that like I actually watched video of was the casting of Frank Stone because I was curious about it. But the other two, like, I just, if you would have went before this, if you would have went Haley, do you remember that a Legend of Zelda game is coming out in September? I would have been like, what?
See, that's the thing for me. Like Brendan said, I knew about Warhammer and Zelda. Casting of Frank Stone, I never would have even known what that was if we did not talk about it.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if, because maybe it's my algorithms or something, but I'm wondering if the marketing just wasn't there. Because I feel like with Legend of Zelda games, I hear more about them. I see more advertisements about them.
Yeah, I mean this isn't, I guess it's not so much like a mainline
Mm-hmm.
Zelda as much as it is kind of like a spin-off of Link's Awakening. Because that's kind of what I think the same engine that it's using. I think it's Link's Awakening because it looks really similar, but it's just kind of like a spin-off thing. So like it wasn't a mainline, it wasn't a Tears of the Kingdom or something. It was a it was like a Four Swords adventure sort of deal.
Yeah. And like I completely get that, but like still it being within that realm of Legend of Zelda, especially Zelda being the main character, I guess I was just expecting more, more hype, more excitement, more everybody talking about it. Warhammer, I think Warhammer is a bit niche, so I can completely understand that not being on my radar at all. But Zelda, I at least expected a little bit more from.
Yeah, fair. Totally fair.
Yeah.
And still speaking of marketing, I have not heard shit about any of these games for October, except the last one. So, let's kick it over to games coming out in October. We have Metaphor re. Is it Fantasio?
Tazio.
There we go. Mike always swooping in with the correct pronunciation. It is a single player RPG. It's developed by Studio Zero and published by Sega slash Atlas. It's coming out on PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox Series S and X on October 11th.
That's all I'm gonna say.
It's just fantasy Persona.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah, looks good. That
um,
that's really it. Like it just looks cool. I
yeah,
don't know.
it's
It's
just it's
just
fantasy
fantasy
persona.
Persona.
Yeah. Like, what
No,
can we
it's
say? Um,
I was sorry to interrupt. I was sitting here going, "What do you mean fantasy persona?" And then I started clicking through, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, that is fantasy persona."
yep.
yeah, I've had my eye on this one for a while now. Persona is like one of my favorite series out there. Um, so of course, when they announced this, it kind of had my attention. But yeah, I haven't played the demo yet. There is a demo for those who want to try it before it comes out on the 11th. Um, but it looks great. I mean, just right now, I have when the trailers going and just watching the character. If you want to move fast, he jumps on top of a sword and just kind of skateboards on a sword. Um, sounds goofy, but it just like looks really cool when he does it. And it's got a lot of personality. It's got a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? What Persona 5 had,
It's got
Persona
that
5 was really smooth moving.
yeah, it's got that jazz.
Um, I was clicking through the screenshots, and there is a monster made out of tongues, and coming out of its eyeball is a tongue. Well, no, it's a tail with a flower on the end and an eyeball.
Yeah,
What the fuck is this game?
Yeah.
And it's called the Great Worm Homo Butera.
just wait until she sees the wiener monster from Persona.
Penis, yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
Persona 5, yeah, one of the enemies is just this giant penis on a chariot.
yep. And then there's Jack Frost right next to him.
Yeah, Jack Frost.
Yep, I just looked it up. That is
Yes.
a penis with hands.
Yep. Yeah. So remember the eyeball with tongues and stuff? That's nothing.
I'm about to say, why did you look it up? Like,
Bruh, I'm
Yeah.
gonna just assume that the makers of Persona are just some horny fucks.
yeah, they made a monster that's sleeping a penis on a chariot with arms. I mean, come on.
It has a mouth. It has a
It
mouth.
does. It does. I just remember when I was playing Persona 5 and that thing came up, and I was just like, what the hell am I looking at right now? I thought this game barely had a mature rating. Come on now.
Dude, this is straight up okay. Look, they've got a navigator. They've got a special like animal friend that also has persona. They all have personas. Uh, this is straight up just fantasy persona. Like, what isn't a persona about this? This is crazy.
Yeah.
They
The
went.
menus are
Yeah,
sick.
yeah. It looks good. I do like the battle thing though. Like Persona 3, 4, and 5, they had this in the older Personas. You actually have to choose battle positions for your characters. There's front line and there's behind the rear.
Fuck, I hate when games have frontline and backline.
This has that, but I mean, they had to differentiate themselves from Persona somehow. Uh,
So what does that mean exactly?
It's like
so
usually the people in the backline take less damage, but they do less physical damage. And people in front take more damage, but deal more.
Got
Usually.
it. I don't think I've ever played a game with something like that.
some JRPGs have that.
Yeah, Final Fantasy. Some of the mid ones, like 6, I think, has it. I don't remember if 7 has it. Usually it's like, it's fine. Like, you build around it in certain ways. Like,
Yeah.
it adds another layer of strategy. I'm just a baby, and it's just one more thing that you got to think about. I'm like, oh, thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, like you want tank in the front and you want healer in the back, that sort of thing.
He just turned into a knight.
Yeah, so instead of personas in this one, they have classes that you're able to choose from. I forgot how many.
It looks like 6 or more.
It's more than that.
Oh, maybe 13. I don't know. I'm watching the developer play on
Okay.
Steam.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like okay, so I feel like somebody at Atlas went, okay, we need a new Persona game. What is popular right now? And somebody was on TikTok and they went, "These bitches are into fantasy right now. What if we make a persona set in a fantasy world?" And they went, "Ooh, them bitches gonna eat it up." Boom.
Yeah, because I'm the bitch that's eating this shit
Yep.
up.
Yeah, for
Boom.
real. Yeah.
They said, "How do we get those bitches? What are they into right now?" Fantasy. Fantasy everything. Fantasy is popping, locking and dropping right now. You thought Lord of the Rings was popular? Get on Book Talk and let me
Like
know what's
dark,
popular.
like
Like
slightly dark fantasy too.
Yeah.
exactly. And this sort of has a grittiness to it. I wouldn't say it's super dark, but it does have that, like, just enough darkness sprinkled into it, especially with the designs of the like knights that they turn into. Those are like really badass. Um so I'm curious about it. Is it something I'll play? Probably not, because it doesn't seem like my sort of like combat style. Um but I think I would watch somebody play this. Like, it seems really fucking cool.
Yeah, all I could say, if you like Persona, from what I've seen from the demo and all the trailers, this has enough of a difference from Persona, um, for those who are veterans of Persona, and if you're just looking for a good RPG, then this can really be it.
Yeah.
Mike, do you
I'm
have
looking
this on
forward to this.
pre-order?
Yes,
I knew it. Brennan, any final thoughts? I apologize for cutting you off.
Very good. I'm gonna play the demo. This looks fun.
it's a long demo too.
Even better.
Oh my god.
I think it's taking people like 5 or 6 hours to complete.
Holy shit.
Oh, it's gonna be Persona where it's like 200 hours long.
Oh no, no, no! This game will be an 80-hour game, like easy. So if you're not doing anything for the holidays,
They really went, "Hey, play the first half of this game."
more like, hey, play the first 1/15th of the game.
Oh my god.
Oh, you think a 6-hour demo's long? Trust me. Just wait till you see the rest of the game.
What have I sunk 200 hours into?
Final Fantasy 8, Persona 3, 4, and 5.
Baldur's Gate. I've sunk 191 hours in Baldur's Gate, and that's this over the span of multiple campaigns. So, yeah, no, I'm good. Let's let's kick it over to Brennan's pick. We have Dragon Ball Sparkling Zero. Sparkling has an exclamation point. It's
Barking.
oh, it's sparking. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I said sparkling.
Okay, every Dragon Ball fan in the world is like gonna throw rocks at your windows now.
Oh shit! No, don't do that, please. I now rent. I don't own. It's a single player multiplayer arena fighter. It's developed by Spike Chunsoft and published by Bandai Namco. It's coming out on PC, PS5, Xbox Series S and X on October 11th, the same day as Metaphor.
So if you don't want a 100-hour long RPG and you want some straight up action, here you go.
Beautiful.
This should have
It's
been named
just
Sparkling.
it should have been sparkling, honestly. This game's gonna be fucking awesome, dude. It's gonna be like you remember like back in 2005 when you were playing Budokai Tenkaichi on your fucking GameCube. It's gonna be like that, except your back kind of hurts and your knees are kind of going out a little bit. You have your rent's due and like you got to work the next day, so you can't really play that long. You just kind of get have to get in bed a little of your good time, you know.
Wait
It's
till
gonna
the
be
wife
like
and
that.
kids go to sleep.
And that's I'm hoping that's what it's gonna be like. I'm playing. I'm buying this game for nostalgia. I'm literally throwing $70 at nostalgia.
Um, I've actually been keeping up with this along with Metaphor. And this game just looks beautiful. Uh,
Yeah.
like right now, I'm watching gameplay. Like when they transform, there's a weight behind the transformation. When you power up like to the max, all of a sudden the skies like turn dark. And the world around you kind of like the world's kind of shaking, and it looks really cool.
Yeah, aesthetically it looks beautiful. And I was watching some gameplay before where you can do certain things, kind of like what if scenarios. There's a what if scenario where what if Goku like doesn't team up with Piccolo in the beginning with Raditz, or what if Piccolo kills Raditz without Goku dying, stuff like that. And I thought that was really cool. I always like the what if battles in these games, so I'm really glad that they kept those in and like made new ones.
It says that there's over 180 characters base game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
half of those are Vegeta and Goku.
yeah, it's true.
That was going to be my next question. Are some of them just like different variations of the same character?
I believe so. I'm
Just yeah,
not sure.
I was about to say it's the transformations. Even the transformations count as a character.
So like, but you can't. Can you not transform mid battle?
You can, but you have the option of start instead of Goku starting at his base. You have the option of starting at Super Saiyan 3.
Okay, okay.
I don't I don't think that's fair to count those, but like at the same exact time, I understand why they're counting them because oh, that looks so cool. You don't have to unlock anybody. You get these people right from the get go.
Well, like you'd probably have to. I would at least hope that you would unlock the forms as it goes on. You know,
Oh, true.
I would hope. Like that's just me. I wouldn't want every single version of Goku right off the bat.
Mm-hmm. Me neither.
And
And I like fighting games where I have to unlock stuff. It actually makes me feel like I'm accomplishing something.
Yeah.
especially in a fighting game because like there's not really anything to do outside of fight. So like you need to have that sense of purpose.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like don't get me wrong, I like going to rank and everything, but I want to be able to unlock my stuff.
I think another cool thing about this is the animation, like the fights, all the 3D stuff, like it's clean. It's extremely clean and it looks so good.
Yeah, I'm glad this got like the attention and love it needed. Like Kakarot was good for what it was, but I'm really glad that they just took that and stripped away what didn't work and then added a whole bunch more. I'm really glad that they didn't do a Kakarot 2 and instead were like, okay, let's go back and redo Budokai just because.
People have been asking for 15 years, so they're like, "Fuck it, let's do it."
Yeah. Not that they could have done a Kakarot 2, but
Please no.
you know what I mean.
I'm sorry, Kakarot. I don't think was very good.
Like it wasn't great, but it had the beginnings of an arena fighter, I guess. Like I don't know.
I think it was good on paper, but yeah.
Yeah, I didn't finish it. I finished the Cell game, so I was like, I'm done.
Do we think that this is going to be, well, I know Mike plays a lot of fighting games. Is this going to be a big game in the fighting scene?
Probably. I don't think it'll be too big at like things like Evo, but it will be one of those like guilty pleasure games that fighting game fans will look at and check out. Um, just because it's good dumb fun. Um, we're talking about how Warhammer was good dumb fun. That's what this looks like. It's just going to an arena, blowing shit up, and shooting off beams that could destroy the planet if it hits wrong. So
I I think fighting games are always interesting because I'm just like, how does this have such a big scene? But they always like surprise me and they always look so good. And I think one of the reasons why they look so good is because they have to look good. They have to make the cinematics and the fight scenes and the movements look so crisp and like frame perfect. Like it's because that's what it is. That's what it relies on.
hmm
So like I always look at these games and I'm like, "Damn, that shit looks like a movie. Why can't other games look like that?"
with fighting games, if you make it look good, they'll play.
And that's like that's basically a Mike saying if you make anything that's Persona or a fighting game, he will come both ways.
No, Sparking Zero. I'm not gonna get it right away just because it comes out the same day as Metaphor. But I am gonna get this, and I will jizz like really hard.
Hopefully, Brennan's on the receiving end of that.
Oh yeah, big time. I I'm looking forward to this. This should be fun.
Like I'm gonna be online playing, and all my opponents are gonna hear, "Ah!"
Is that the noise Brennan makes?
That's the noise I make.
What the fuck? Anyway, um, that's a bit scary.
Now everybody knows the sounds I make when I jizz. You're welcome, internet.
I'm telling Jess.
Tell her I don't care. Please don't tell her.
Brennan's
And my
going to just take that clip and then just put it in a loop.
Yeah, pretty much.
Nasty. Nasty. Speaking of nasty, let's talk
oh
about
yeah,
what could definitely be a hit or miss for this year. We are talking about Dragon Age the Veilguard. I have a conspiracy theory, but I'll save it for a second. It's a single player ARPG. It's developed by BioWare and published by EA. It's coming out on PC, PS5, Xbox Series S and X on October 31st. Um, so we know that this game went through a title change. And I think that's because the game went in a different direction. I will be surprised if we see Silas. I think that was his name.
So
Okay, there we go. Um, I think he's going to be in here, but I don't think he's going to play a big part that he originally was supposed to.
Okay, I see what you mean.
All I can say about this is I don't know much about Dragon Age. I think I played Origins for like an hour. So I don't know. This is out of my realm.
God, I wish Dragon Age was more like Origins, but alas, we don't have that. I don't know. I wonder if you're right, Haley, because they changed the name from like Dreadwolf or something, which to me would have, I think, and everybody else kind of thought that Solus would have been the big bad because that's kind of what they were hyping it up towards at the end of Inquisition. Um, but maybe they did kind of tone him down a bit and then rebrand.
There is an article that states, according to BioWare, the original title did not reflect how strongly the studio felt about the game's new heroes and stories. And I think that is true. I think that coming off of Inquisition, they wanted to make this follow up, and it stopped being a direct, like, sequel and more so just a new game that probably has a storyline related to that, but that is not the overarching plot. Because again, in this article, they say naturally the Dreadwolf still has an important part in this tale, but you and your companions, not your enemies, are the heart of this new experience. So I think he's in there somewhere. I think he's just going to be more so a background character rather than the main antagonist of this game.
That makes sense.
Which is like kind of disappointing because Inquisition, I loved Inquisition. I played it in college. I played it quite a few times. Um I wasn't a big fan of the combat. That took me a lot to get used to. And but I will say that they really made him such a prominent character in that game that I'm hoping that we resolve that question of what the fuck. That man ran off with all my good gear. I never
I never.
survived after that. My team was not what it should have been. I couldn't
Wow.
even.
Imagine using Solus.
I did. I did. I didn't romance him though. I romanced a
Wow.
woman.
I
So
forget who I romanced. The elf girl.
I think I might have romanced her too.
She was great. Yeah, Inquisition was it was all right for what it was, but I'm looking for more here.
I'm curious as to where they plan on going with this game. Especially with the name change, especially just with how the game looks overall. It's very I don't really know what to say. It's giving Diablo 3. Does that make sense?
Mm, what do you mean by
Like
that?
color palette wise, sort of like
Oh, yeah, I can see it.
it's trying to be like dark and foreboding, but it's colorful.
Yes, yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah,
And that's how I saw Diablo 3 was it's like, "Ooh, we're trying to be super serious, but like this bright red monster's coming after you." Like picking up that color palette just it looks a little cartoony, I think is what I'm trying to get at.
Hmm.
yeah. I think they took Inquisition and kind of like tried to like dip it in the darker inkwell. Just like dip it, not drench it, but just dip it. So, like his Inquisition was kind of sort of similar. It was similarly had brightish colors, especially compared to the first two, and a more not cartoony, but because it wasn't really cartoony. I don't know how to explain it, but definitely more saturated color palette compared to the first two games. And this one's kind of is like that too, but again, just dipped a little bit in the darker.
I can understand why Inquisition was so bright because that did take place in sort of like an open world. Like it was very much like outside. You're traversing landscapes. You're not really like in a dungeon much or in a cave. Um, but it definitely was bright. Um, but looking at these characters, I'm just like, I can't fucking take them seriously. They look like cartoons. Like, I feel like I'm looking at Disney characters.
You look like a cartoon, man.
Thanks. I take that as a compliment.
Yeah.
um, I, hold on.
Hold on. Hold up. Hold the phone. Wait a
Hold,
second.
hold the phone.
What phone am I holding?
Your cell phone.
Okay.
Okay, just hold it there.
Why am I holding it here?
Because you have to hold it.
Do I have to?
Yes, you have to. Um,
Why do I have to?
okay, just keep holding it.
Don't listen to her, Brendan. You're an
Keep
independent
holding
man.
it.
You do what you want.
I mean, I'm holding it, Doug, and I don't know why.
Just keep holding it. It's okay. Just a little bit longer.
How much longer do I have to hold on for?
Just a little bit longer.
That's crazy. This is
Shh,
crazy.
shh. You can do it. Just a teensy bit longer.
My
God,
hand's gonna fall
God
off.
damn it. Hold
When you're
on,
holding
wait.
it, you want to be firm, but you don't want to hold it too hard, you know?
Yeah, I guess.
Maybe give it a little shake, you know?
Okay. I gave it a little shake.
Ooh.
Okay, uh, uh, shake it again. Okay, here we go. You can put your phone down now. Um,
Oh, thank God.
so there has been to sorry for the delay. This was a last minute thought because this episode's short. Um, we are getting two Japan based games. We know that Assassin's Creed Shadow is coming out. That was supposed to be coming out uh next month, I think, or the month after that. And then Ghost of is it Yotai?
Something like that, yeah.
Um which is a sequel or set within the same universe as um Ghost of shit, what's it called?
Ghost of Tsushima.
Tsushima.
Yeah, there we go. Um so Assassin's Creed was delayed. They decided to delay it to next year. Both of those games are now coming out within the same year. How do we feel? Because this is what the people wanted. This is like way back when, everybody was like, "Hey, Assassin's Creed, you gotta give us a ninja-based game. Like, where the fuck are you doing?" Ghost of Tsushima came out. Everybody went, "Hey, Assassin's Creed, hey, Ubisoft. Sucker Punch did it. Why can't you do it?" Ubisoft goes, "Hey, we're doing it." Sucker Punch goes, "We're gonna do it better."
Yep.
They have a female protagonist. Everybody's up in arms about that. You don't get a choice. You can only play as her. This is set 300 years after Jin.
My boy.
Well, like, what are our thoughts on this whole mess? Because you know that next year, these two games are going to be pitted against each other in an all-out brawl. Like, I need a Dragon Ball meme right now where, like, one is Assassin's Creed Shadows and the other one is the new Ghost game.
It goes to the new Ghost game.
Ghost of the new Ghost game.
Fuck Assassin's Creed.
And
It's all about Ghost.
yeah. And I don't even want to like be biased about it. I just feel like Sucker Punch is just going to pull off a better game because we saw it with Ghost of Tsushima, um, and we haven't seen shit from Ubisoft. So yeah, and they're catching a lot of flack right now because of the two protagonists, which yeah, it's a thing. And I don't know. For my money, I would bet on Ghost of Yatai just doing well in general, and probably outperforming Shadows, whatever.
Mm-hmm. So, Ghost doesn't have an actual date yet. It just says 2025. So Assassin's Creed is coming out in February. Yotai is probably releasing towards the end. I'm going to say and assume towards the end of next year. Um, Probably right around this time, if not October holiday season. I think that with the turmoil that Assassin or with Ubisoft is in right now, I think both of these games are going to sell well. But I think that overall, I think Ghost is going to be better. I think it's going to be better story wise. I think it's going to be better gameplay wise. I think visually, like, I think that is going to be the better game. But I would not put it past, like, something tells me Assassin's Creed is just going to somehow be better at something that doesn't matter as much. Like, maybe Assassin's Creed sells more.
Mm.
Because my whole thing is uh hold on, let me do some research.
After the success that Ghost of Tsushima was, I think Ghost of Yote is going to sell really well.
Here's the downfall. And I just wanted to verify this to be sure. Ghost of Tsushima came out on PS4, PS5, and PC, but PC years later. So that's where Assassin's Creed is going to win, and that's the only thing that Assassin's Creed is going to win because it comes out on everything. Whereas Ghosts, more than likely, is going to be PlayStation exclusive again.
That makes sense.
There we go. So, like, I mean, put them together, like, put them in the ring, put them against each other. Sucker Punch is going to come out on top, but at the end of the day, everybody's just going to be like, what sold more? Well, of course, fucking Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, that. There's a chance. I don't know what the chance is, but yeah, there's a chance that like Yotai could like compete. I mean, But outside of it, yeah, you'd think that Assassin's Creed would sell more.
If Yotai comes out on PS4, maybe. I think it could stand a chance. But putting yourself out day one on all consoles and PC, well, excluding Switch, um, that opens your audience more. That gives you more opportunity to sell more. So, like, I think Sucker Punch has this in the bag for everything else. I think that Ghost of Yotai will definitely, um, once again, just comparing this to Assassin's Creed Shadow, I think it'll sweep at the Game Awards. Um, but when it comes to just looking at the numbers, at who sold more, I think that's where Ubisoft is going to get it. Because this is what the people have always wanted. And I think Sucker Punch has a lot more to live up to than Ubisoft and Assassin's Creed does. Because everybody knows what Ubisoft is capable of, so they're kind of just like, maybe. But coming off of Ghost of Tsushima, you give us that, you have to give us something better. You can't just give us an amazing game and then flop. So I think the standard is a hell of a lot higher for Sucker Punch than it is for Ubisoft. So I'm hoping that they didn't set themselves up for failure.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know. Ubisoft is with everything going on with Ubisoft right now, and the fact that the past few Assassin's Creeds weren't really up to par. I think they have a lot of pressure on them right now because it's like if this new Assassin's Creed isn't very good, Assassin's Creed might take to the back seat for a while everything gets settled.
If this game doesn't do well, not necessarily selling wise, but just like review wise, I'm quite curious to see how that affects the next couple games that are coming out, especially Hexe or Hex, whatever it's called. That one I'm super curious about. And they haven't released much details on that. So, like, I'm curious if this is sort of their, like, guys, like, we need a real winner right now. Like, we really need to give the people what they want because we don't have anything left. Almost like their Hail Mary of sorts.
Yeah, I would. You would hope so. You would definitely hope so, and I hope it's. I hope this Assassin's Creed is good. I always hope one of them is can do something like a like a Black Flag, where you're like, hell yeah, this one's great.
I've been waiting for a really good one just because when 1, 2, and 2 came out, I was deep into those games. I loved the old Assassin's Creeds. It was just the series went on for me. It just got more and more lackluster. So every time a new one's coming out, I'm like, please let this be really good. Please let this be really good. But alas, every time I am disappointed.
Um, just to quickly give an idea of what Assassin's Creed is going up against: Civilization 7, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Avowed, Like a Dragon, Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii, Jesus Lord, and Monster Hunter Wilds are some of the games that are coming out in February 2025 next year. Also, conspiracy theory. Again, the first couple months are slow. Like, January, we never really talk about video games in January because nothing ever like really comes out in January. So I'm
Yeah.
wondering if they moved it so they don't have to compete with the end of the year bullshit.
Yeah, maybe.
That one, is a bit far-fetched. Um I feel like more so maybe just what they have going on right now is probably the reason for delaying the game. Um, but I think that coming out at the beginning of the year gives them a better of a chance to sell rather than needing to compete with the games that are coming out right now.
Yeah, I feel like you just need to have a really good reason as to like why you wouldn't just capitalize on the holiday stuff. But I don't know. Maybe it's like the game itself. I don't, maybe there's internal stuff going on. It's hard to say without knowing for sure, but I feel like you just need a really good reason for that. Outside of just, oh, we don't want to compete. It's like, no, but the holiday shit, that's where it's at.
I I'm curious. I'm curious to see what happens with Ubisoft. I'm curious to see how this affects Assassin's Creed Shadow in if it does in any sort of way. I'm curious to see what people say about these two games when you finally put them up against each other. I think 2025 is going to be a big year, and I think ever since COVID we've been on this track of getting back up to the top of where video games should be, and I think 2025 is going to be the year. I think we are going to see some heavy hitters. I think everybody's going to roll out everything that they have, especially with Sony just launching the PS5 Pro. I think we are going to see some baller games next year.
Supposedly the Switch too.
Yeah, like I think next year's the year. Next year is the main course that we have been waiting for since everything was knocked sideways because of COVID. So I'm curious. I'm extremely curious to see what next year brings us, and I think we're all going to go broke.
Ready
Yeah,
for it.
maybe, probably.
I'm gonna have to take out a loan.
You have to sell a kidney.
Yeah, I saw some blood and semen.
Brendan will buy that in a heartbeat.
You know it.
Oh,
Would do shady favors for money.
oh no. Oh no. Anyway, um, let's not talk about those shady favors so we don't get canceled on YouTube. But let's kick it over to some final thoughts and wrap up this episode for September and October.
I just want to play some fucking Dragon Ball, my guy. Oh, this looks so good. I've just been watching gameplay in the background this whole time.
I just want to play some fucking metaphor, man. Get lost for 200 hours.
Honestly, it looks really good. I want to check that out.
I'm gonna play metaphor. I'm gonna get a double screen setup for my PC. Play metaphor on one screen and Dragon Ball on the other. That means I have to upgrade my PC, but I'm gonna play them both at the same time.
It's beautiful.
That's awesome.
I honestly I'm ready. I'm ready to see where the year ends. And I think it's going to get us into that spring towards the top towards next year because I think next year is going to be insane. And I'm ready for Dragon Age the Veilguard. Something in the back of my mind tells me that I'm going to be let down, and I think I'm okay with that because my expectations are not high. It's BioWare. Your expectations should never be high with them.
That's true.
So, I think September and October are getting us ready for a really solid, really good end of the year, November and December rolling into that holiday season. And I think that I'm really excited for our end of the year episode, um, to go back and go through all the games that have come out this year. So I'm ready. I am ready to rock and roll into the end of the year.
Hell yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
with that, and us deciding to cut each other off every 30 seconds, we're gonna end it here and say good night. So have a great morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world, and we will catch you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.